What's up? What's good? What's happening? My G's, your boy Frank's back at it again on an episode of Catch a Vibe. Today I got a very special guest in the building. He gets me right, get me looking sexy. Mr. Lance, what's good, my bro?
I'm good. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Bro, thanks for pulling up, man. It's been a while since we talked about this whole episode being done, so you pulling up now, so I appreciate it, my guy.
No dramas at all.
First and foremost, bro, give us a little bit of background about your story, how you go into the barbering industry and whatnot, man.
Okay, so barbering industry, honestly, I fell into it.
Okay.
I fell into it literally. I just got fired from a job. I was warehousing and doing laboring work.
Typical
like
9 to 5, yeah.
Okay. So I lost the job because I was taking too many days off. Because I was
one of those guys.
I was hanging out. I was hanging out with my girlfriend at the time. But hey, that paid off because she's my wife.
Wifey now. Oh wow.
She's my wife and she's the mother of my children. Wow, so hey, investment. That was an investment, early investment. But so I was hanging out with her. I lost my job.
Yeah.
I was hanging out in my cousin's barbershop.
Okay, cool.
And I was going down there to play PlayStation. I was there like most days.
Yeah, okay.
And then my cousin came to work one day, and I was there playing the PlayStation again. He said, "Hey, you might as well learn how to do something to help pay for these bills because you're using the power and shit." So So that's how that he said, "You might as well learn how to cut hair." And honestly, I didn't even want to get into it. Yeah. I didn't want to be a barber. I used to get one haircut a year. I hated getting haircuts, let alone giving haircuts. And my wife said to me, my brother said to me, like, you might as well just give it a go.
Start learning.
So that's how I
was he paying you, or was kind of like you just learning?
Well, at first it was kind of it was 50-50. That's how we started. Yeah. Like anything I cut, anything I made, half goes to the shop, half goes to me. And it was tough times.
Wait, what's that? Because being a new barber, because I know myself when I go to like a barber shop and I see the new barber, I'm like, hey, I know you like that. You know what I mean? Because that is that trust factor, man. Like, because having a barber is like having a girl, right? And like, no, like, I remember I went that wrong. Like, I mean, let me backtrack. Because, but in terms of trust, like you know me, I trust. You know what I like. Right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Maybe like in the bedroom, like. You know what I mean? Like, do you know what they like? That you like?
You gotta have like confidence in the person. Yeah. For one, like he's looking after your hair. Yeah. And you got to walk around for the next 2-3 weeks with that haircut. So trust factor is definitely massive. And when you're first starting out,
no one has that in you.
There's no trust in that. Especially when you've got the bosses saying, "Oh, he's learning."
It's like,
you got to do me like that. Yeah. But for real. It's tough in the beginning. People don't want to sit in your chair. So doing that whole 50-50 thing, it works for the shop because they're not paying me by the hour to do nothing.
It's more of your work that you do.
Yeah. And there were some weeks where I was walking away with barely anything.
But how did you build that trust from the customers and whatnot as time went on?
I think just like anything, it's building the relationship as well.
Yeah. Good rapport.
It was building rapport with people. The more they came in, the more they saw my face, the more you build that relationship. Yeah. And then they kind of built up enough trust. And as they saw me working, every time they came in, they see my haircuts improve and all of that. Yeah. Gets to a point where they're like, okay, I'll give this guy a go.
Nah, like, because when I come into you and I see you and whatnot, like I always talk about like the small conversations that we have just in the limited times, like being half an hour, 45, but it's so important because in that time, we talk about life, family, what we're going through and whatnot. Like, how has barbering allowed you to kind of connect with your customers and impact their life in a bigger kind of way?
Honestly, I feel like barbering is, I think for the most part, that connection side means just as much, if not more, than the haircut itself. Yeah, you gotta be able to connect with people. You know what I mean? And like for instance, if you build that trust between yourself and your client, if you build that relationship enough, honestly, you could give a half decent haircut and still have that customer come to you for life. Because, I mean, just like anything, like they don't remember what you say, they don't remember what you did, they remember how you made them feel. So, I feel like that connection is just as important as the haircut itself.
That's dope. And also, are you more kind of like more conscious about like initiating a conversation with your customers, you know, because you never know what someone's going through, right? Mm-hmm. And as bad as it's to say, like people go through some shit and they're thinking about taking their lives and whatnot. And are you kind of more aware, like, oh, I'm gonna make the effort to kind of talk to this guy today because I don't know what he's going through.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's funny you bring that up because over the past 12 months, really. I've been privileged enough to be involved with events that have happened in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And it's been based around that. Domestic violence in the home, suicide prevention, mental health, all of those things. So those events, they had guest speakers come in.
Yeah.
And they speak to you about how to, I guess, pick up on triggers, how to interact with that person.
Yeah.
And like half the time it's just being an ear, really. Like,
it's listening.
Listening. Like that's probably one of the biggest things that a lot of us fail to do, is just literally hear what people are saying.
Yeah.
Because we're so involved in what we're doing in our own lives that sometimes it's hard to do that.
Yeah.
So it's
I heard some quote where it was like, learn to like we often we listen to reply instead of just listen to actually understand.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We spoke about that last time too, and I was like, man, that's fucking so true. Like we always want to give a reply instead of just understanding what the person's trying to say to us, man. Like
sometimes that pause is important.
Yeah.
Pause, like after the person said something, pause in a way of taking in what they've actually said.
Yeah.
Not pause to think about what you can say back. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like to actually take what they're saying in and process it and just actually listen to what they're saying.
No, that would kind of caught my attention. I was like, man, that's very true because
we all do it.
Yeah, that's
we
so
all
true.
Do it.
Like we all kind of tend to, because that's like it's just human nature, man. Like through school, like ask a question, you reply back. It's natural. So you think, okay, cool, you're telling me something, I'm gonna give you an answer or a solution to your problem. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What skills from barbering have you kind of, I guess, adapted and used in your everyday life skills? If that makes sense. In terms of like family, friends.
I think people skills is probably one of the biggest things that I've been able to learn from barber.
Yeah.
You've probably heard, people say things like take I out of your vocabulary.
Yeah.
So that you're never speaking about yourself. It's always about the other person.
Yeah.
And I think that helps in all relationships in life, not just between barber and client, but between yourself and your spouse, between yourself and your kids. Like making it about the other person will make them feel more important, I guess. And everybody strives or is desperate to feel important.
Yeah.
And I think making somebody feel important is a big key in people skills.
Yeah. Do you sometimes feel like a therapist in a way because with a barber, because like when someone comes in right there, you ask them, what do you want? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So they tell you what they want, and then you try to do as best as you can to your abilities to make that happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you, as along the way, you kind of ask, okay, how's this look? Like this. So do you feel like you're a barber do you feel like you're a therapist in a sense? You know what I mean? That makes sense?
Honestly, like most barbers, like every barber could probably say that they are to some extent.
Yeah.
Because whether you like it or not, you're going to hear
some stories,
the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
When it comes to your clients. And they'll share it all. For some reason, there's something about physically touching somebody, the process of giving someone a haircut, that just makes their walls drop. All barriers are down, and they have this complete confidence in you that they're willing to share everything with you. And I think that aspect of it really makes you feel like a therapist or a shrink or
whatnot.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that barbering get you to the point where you are now? Because you're doing pretty well for yourself, man. Because the first time I came across you guys, and I was like, through my cousin, he was like, go check out The Loft down in Brown Spain. I was like, cool, check you guys out. And he mentioned like the top guys, I guess, like you, Bruce, and all them. He's like, check them out. And I looked up on Instagram. And I was like, damn, Lance is doing good for himself. You built like a great platform for yourself on social media as well too. So did you ever think that barbering would get you to where you are now and the opportunities that's provided you?
Honestly, I didn't.
Yeah, because
I never thought.
Polynesian background, you say, I'm going to be a barber. Like, be a barber? Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
I never wanted a car.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I never thought, probably my first 5 years of being a barber, I treated it like a job.
Yeah, you just go through the motion and stuff.
It was just the learning process, getting into it. Do I really want to do this? I actually dropped out of it 2 years in to do something else because I thought,
okay,
I don't know if I want to do this. But then, as time went on, I got back into barbering. And I didn't think it was going to get me to where I'm at or give me the experiences that I've experienced throughout my life. So,
because you've had the chance to travel around Australia, do workshops and whatnot.
Yep. Traveled around Australia, done a few things in New Zealand. I'd love to do more in other countries, but we'll see how it goes. But
steady step.
No, it's definitely given me a lot more life experiences than I would have in other jobs.
Was that kind of like, when that came about, those opportunities, were you kind of like open to them? Were you kind of like, nah, I just want to cut hair, all that extra stuff?
Nah, it was definitely something I was looking for.
Yeah.
I got to a point in my career where I felt like I could have been busier.
Yeah.
Because I was going to work, I was going home, going to work, going home.
Kind of like stale, kind of stagnant.
Yeah,
kind of
it was
same thing,
every day was on repeat.
Yeah.
And I feel like that sometimes now, but one thing that my wife always brings it up when I get too busy.
Yeah.
And I feel like, okay, this is getting a bit much.
Yeah.
She always reminds me of the day that I said to her, I just feel like I could be busier.
Yeah.
And now that I am, be careful what you wish for.
The power of the tongue, man. That's what do you put in this universe? What are you getting back to? Yeah, man.
You speak it into existence. So
yeah,
I'm definitely busier now.
But I always laugh about it because when I come down to the shop, like it gets busy, right? And that's understandable, right? Because you guys are quality barbers and people want the quality haircuts, right? And people always some people get mad about like waiting. I'm like, come on days when you're not busy. You know what I mean? Have you had kind of like any kind of like backlash with like customers about like, complaints?
We have, and it's always about the time spent.
Yeah.
Waiting, the time spent on each haircut.
Yeah.
It's funny because people will have a lot to complain about when it comes to waiting for their haircut.
But when it's them.
But when it's their turn, they don't want to be rushed. They don't want to be rushed, So
take your time, bro. Take your time.
Yeah, it's kind of give and take. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Do you reckon, would there ever be like a solution to that problem, you reckon, with barbers and whatnot?
Ah, man, everyone's screaming for appointments.
I don't know about that. Yeah, I reckon the system just blow up for you guys.
Yeah, everyone's screaming for appointments.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got to work on both sides of it, like catering to your customers, but revenue wise as well when it comes to the business side of it. So
just stop complaining, man. If you want a good haircut, relax.
Relax.
Take us back to your early days, because we always talk about your days when you used to do like graffiti and stuff when you were younger. And how has that helped you kind of in a way with your creativity in terms of barbering and other things that you do?
Okay, so the graffiti side of it was more teenage years.
Yeah. You're like a hoodlum.
Yeah.
You were a badass, huh?
It was funny too because I grew up in a religious family. I grew up, of good parents.
Yeah.
They taught me right from wrong, but sometimes you just decide that you want to do other things, you know what I mean? So,
Did you get whooped as a kid?
Yeah, man, for sure.
Okay, good.
For sure. Like, I'm pretty sure most islanders can, they can relate to that.
The hiding,
I wouldn't say like my parents weren't like abusive.
Yeah, discipline.
You know what I mean? There's a difference between discipline and abuse. So, I definitely got checked every time I stepped out of line. But so the graffiti side of it, that grew my passion for art.
Yeah, okay.
And then art kind of just naturally was incorporated into barbering.
Yeah.
And how I got into it with barbering was the whole designs on people's heads.
Yeah.
So I found myself expressing myself artistically in barbering on clients. It kind of related to graffiti in a way of, in graffiti, you're putting it out for the public to see.
Your work.
Only thing is you don't want them to know who did it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's kind of it's for fame, but it's not for fame type thing.
Yeah.
Also, you're doing graffiti on things that are moving. Buses, trains, that sort of thing. So I found a way to incorporate it legally on people's heads where they're moving.
Yeah.
They're moving around. Like I've had customers come in, they're going overseas, and I've done a piece on their head, and that's traveling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's where I found a passion for barbering. That's where it started, was the art side of it.
Okay, going back to the graffiti, was it kind of in terms for like self-expression and creativity, or more so because you wanted to be just, I want to be rebellious and I just want to, was it kind of like an escapism kind of like a mechanism, or like you just want to, this is what I do to kind of just get away from everybody?
Honestly, it was more of an expression thing.
Okay.
It was more of you just get lost in it.
Yeah.
A bit of it was for that rush, because you want to get in and out as fast as you can with producing something as good as you can.
All right, cool.
You know what I mean? So it was more the expression side of it, but it was also that rebellious rush as well.
Were you any good though?
Oh, man, I wouldn't say that I was one of the best. I got gang loads of photos at home.
Graffiti work you done back in the days? Or?
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of it probably wasn't, the mural side of it, because it was all illegal. You know what I mean? Nothing was, I never had time to really spend time on a wall. You know what I mean? So, man, believe it. Hey,
that you out here doing.
Bro, I know.
Like this.
I was... Man, my mom probably wouldn't appreciate me putting this out there, but I was arrested at 16. I was arrested at 12 for the first time.
You didn't tell me this. At 12? At 12, doing what?
Dude, it was shoplifting.
Oh.
Yeah. I got that first taste of getting something for free.
Everybody's
you know what I mean?
Everybody's shoplifting.
Yeah, everybody's lifted something. It was petty shit. It was chocolate. It was chocolate. I'm a chocoholic. You know that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what. So yeah, that was the first time, and I was like below the age of a man. I was 12 years old.
But chocolate card.
Yeah.
What did they say to you?
They took me to the police station and everything. They even fingerprinted me. It was scare tactics though.
On your hands, like
it was all scare tactics. They fingerprinted me. They even showed me the cell. You know, the cop did the whole. You see this here, son?
Actually,
this is where you're gonna end up if you keep going down the road.
You're like, man, I took a bar of chocolate, bro. Come on.
But then at the age of 16, I got busted for graffiti. It was broad daylight. And it was me and two of my mates, and cops chased us for about 3-4 Ks.
Yeah.
And I got taken down from a police dog.
So you got home, what happened? Did you even get home that night or no?
I think we spent about 9 hours in the cell.
9 hours. How was that experience?
It was different because I was soaking wet.
Oh, where you at? Wait, hold up. Wait, hold up.
All right, so we were running. And we could hear dogs. We could hear police cars, sirens. And my mate calls out. He's like, yo, jump in the water. The dogs can't smell you. Bro.
Out loud?
Dude.
Like, brother.
I know. It's embarrassing to say, but we did it. We jumped in the water. And,
is that true, though? Dogs can't smell you?
Well, it's a bit hard. It's a bit hard when a helicopter's flying over the top of it. And they can see exactly where you are. So, yeah, the dog jumped in the water with me and bit my arm, and yeah.
Took you guys back to the goddamn station.
16 years old.
And what happened with mom and dad?
I think, man, honestly, by that point...
Were you scared? You're like, man, it is what it is.
By that point, my parents kind of, not gave up on me.
Just kind of started losing hope.
But they kind of like, I feel like, because I don't even remember copping or hiding for that.
You didn't?
No, I went to court and everything, and what was embarrassing was my sister worked at the courts.
Oh.
You know, when she's like there with me, supporting me, and she's also a worker at the district courts, it's pretty embarrassing for her. I see that now. At the time, I thought it was hard.
I reckon that would make me feel like I reckon like not getting a hiding and then going to court, you feel like more of an embarrassment and disappointment, like because that's the worst thing you can do to your parents. Let them down. Cause
that's right. Being escorted into a courthouse by your mom and your sister.
She didn't raise you like that. So
nah.
That ain't me. Going on to going on more about the creative things. Your kids, man. I see you post a few videos and pictures that they kind of come up with on your social media. Yeah, which I always tell you is just fucking cool, man. Because
I'm proud, man.
I'm all for creativity and letting like kids express themselves. That's something we lack in this world, man. Yeah, side of creativity. So how'd that come about, man? To your kids, just
honestly, like I can't even say that I spent a lot of time drawing and stuff like that around my son because I felt like I was doing enough of that at work. That when I would go home, I'd just kick it, spend time with them. So I feel like it kind of just happened naturally. Yeah. For my oldest son, anyway. My youngest son enjoys it, but not as much as my oldest son. And now he's showing signs that are just crazy because they've got the technology as well. That's crazy, just the other day, my wife brought Procreate. Have you heard of Procreate that you can purchase on an iPad? No, what's that? And you draw. You literally can draw. It gives you just complete freedom to draw what you want. Yeah. And use all different effects and whatnot. All different effects. And he's just taking it and run with it at the age of 8.
How cool is that, man?
Oh man, I'm super proud. Yeah, I'm super proud because I feel like he's just picked it up himself. Yeah, and it's not something that was forced upon him. Was he like open about it at the start? Was he kind of a bit like shy, like I just do this on the side? Like, oh dad, look at my drawing. I think for me and my wife, like for our children, we've given them complete freedom to express themselves.
100%,
complete freedom. So they've never been shy about expressing how they feel, expressing their artistic gifts. They just run with it.
Because I always tell you about I'm like letting them to express their creativity at this early age right now. Imagine them in 5 years from now, man.
I know.
And with the technology that we have to our expenses right at the moment, imagine what that could take them. Because it gives them option in life too. You don't got to be doing a regular 9-to-5 job. Yep. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. Because people would say machines will take over those regular kind of 9-to-5 picking up boxes, labor kind of jobs. I'm like, if you have a creative mind, it gives you more opportunity or leverage as we advance in this world. So
definitely, I definitely believe in that too. I mean, we had that conversation I think, over a haircut. Creative people are definitely going to succeed more and more in this world for sure.
And one of the unique things about you, because you homeschool your kids as well too, right?
Yeah, my wife does. Yeah.
How'd that come about? What was that decision kind of? You don't mind sharing that story with us?
My oldest son had what they call comprehension delay. So he picks things up just a little slower than what other kids would. And from that, I guess I didn't want to put him in a schooling system where he'll be left behind. Because in a classroom, there's
kids can be harsh, man.
There's 10, 15, 20 kids. And not only kids can be harsh, but a teacher's only got so much attention. You know what I mean? So I didn't want him to be in a classroom where a teacher just can't focus all their attention on him to help him progress forward.
100%.
And I also didn't want him to fall into a trap of like just being passed on to the next person. He's your problem now. He's your problem now. So we just felt like it was better for him to just learn at home at the pace that he can learn at. And then when my youngest son came about, it was just
no-brainer.
Just chuck him in there too. But he's showing signs of wanting to go to school. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Do you plan on like eventually like letting him go to school? Or?
If they really want to, I don't want to hold them back from that. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Cool. How's your wife find it? Like,
oh man, it's a day-to-day struggle. It's a day-to-day struggle for her for sure. It's not easy. I know I couldn't do it. Dude,
you have no patience.
I can't even watch my kids. I'm not qualified to watch my kids by myself. Like,
I think most men's are.
I do not have the patience, man. But so I give it up to her, like straight up. She does what I can't do.
Was that everything?
Pretty much.
Hey man, you be back on
I can cut hair and that's about it.
Yeah. But you also have a interest or passion, I guess, for videography, right?
I do.
On the side? Yeah.
That was just something I kind of fell into as well.
Do you plan to kind of like look into that more as you go with your barbering career and to try to like collaborate those two kind of worlds together? You already have kind of in a way.
Yeah. In a way I have. It's very time consuming though. Like all videographers, man, I give it up to you. Like
editing and whatnot.
Straight up.
Yeah, I know the feeling, but I do this too myself, bro. One man band, you know. Get my band in bed. Get the cut helping me out. But yeah, it is time consuming.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely something I want to take a bit more serious. Get into a bit more. But as for right now, it is just a hobby.
Yeah.
But we'll see where that goes.
It's also a skill that many people have because you might people can you do my video for me, Lance? And there's opportunities there, another door, another market for you to kind of look into and whatnot. So
there's a few people
hitting you up already
doing it now. Yeah. Like there's a few people that I kind of look up to on YouTube and all of that. But that's where the time consuming thing starts is having to watch tutorials. And then go and do it, and then go back to the tutorial and just going back and forth.
Is it easy?
Just takes.
I want to start doing it, but time consuming.
It is time consuming. Like I wouldn't say that it's easy, but if you've got enough focus for it and you really want to do it, you'll do it.
You'll be about it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Going into social media, man. And what's your I guess your opinion on social media and how like right now it's been used to kind of create opportunities, jobs, and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Right. Social media has helped me personally with getting jobs. Creating opportunities and opening doors. In the education side of barbering. It's also connected me with people in other parts of the world.
100%, man.
Which has definitely opened up even more doors. You know what I mean? So, I think when used correctly,
thank you. That's the biggest thing.
It can help.
Because anything can be bad for you if you ever use it.
The internet in general can be bad for you if you use it.
Depends what you're doing on it. You know what I mean? So
that's right.
So I kind of people social media. I'm like, bro, like if you're using it for business terms and trying to promote yourself, you're not hurting nobody. You know what I mean? What's the issue with that?
On the other hand of that, I think it's when it starts to consume your life. Like, even though you might be using it for business, when you start neglecting other parts or other aspects of your life, that's when it can kind of.
Have you found yourself doing that?
I've drowned in that, like focusing on numbers and followers and likes, and all of a sudden you just spend so much time on your phone.
It's like crack.
Your kids are like, Dad, and I'm like, yeah.
Man, shut up, this damn life.
Yeah, man, I've fell into that trap many times, and I think it's something that you'll continue to fall into.
Yeah.
You just got to be aware of it.
Going off that, building your platform at the start, did you receive any kind of backlash from the barber community for what you were doing on social media in terms of trying to promote yourself as a businessman also?
A little bit.
Barbershop? Was that surprising in a way for you? Was it kind of like expected?
I think for me it was definitely surprising because I wasn't expecting it. Yeah. But at the same time, I kind of understood where it was coming from in a way of hate. Like, you know what I mean? You can't please everyone.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something I've learned over the years is it doesn't matter what you do or how good you're at, like how good you are at doing something.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something that don't like your work or just don't like you personally.
Straight haters
for no reason. Yeah, it's something you got to accept.
Yeah.
You're always going to get them. Even you.
Yeah. Have you been easily are you easily affected by words and like negative comments or whatnot?
Nah, not really.
You don't even give a fuck.
I let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife though, you know, being female, they're emotional creatures and she reacts to it for me, and you know, she gets on there, she wants to comment back, and I have to kind of hold her back sometimes, and I just relax, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And she gets heated, but I've even had like situations where family members have gotten involved, and they're like, "Yo, man, just let me know where they're at." And I'm like, dude, don't do that. Like, we're barbers, we're not gangsters.
Yeah,
man.
it's not that deep, man.
We're just cutting hair, not throats. You know what I mean? So just relax. Shout out to HP Boys.
Yeah, but I was about to say, you copyright.
Yo. But it can definitely,
because we spoke about how your kids start to like, you know, do their own kind of designs and be creative with their work. Have you had a conversation with them in terms of like, it's gonna be people that might come at you guys?
I haven't.
You tend to kind of have that conversation with them just in case?
Nah, to be honest, I haven't. I've had the thought, but I haven't thought about sitting them down and having that discussion with them. I think mainly because we haven't decided whether we want to like push them out there like that yet. You know what I mean? Because they're very young
they are.
right now. And I know like on social media, on YouTube and Instagram, they're starting young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where you kind of have that conversation with yourself as to are you pushing your kids forward or are you exploiting them? You know what I mean? Like, and that's a heavy conversation to have with yourself as a parent.
Yeah.
Like there's all these kids out there that are literally holding their households down. Like they're the ones bringing in the money, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
YouTube and endorsements and all of that are paying them all this money, and the parents are just helping them along. But they're the talent, you know. So it gets to that point where
wishy kind of
is it exploiting your kids, or are you pushing them forward career wise?
But how do you even figure that out though?
Like, I don't know. I don't have the answer for that, legit, because I don't want to feel like I'm pimping my kid out. You know what I mean? Like,
get the joint back. Come on,
I don't want to push them like that. I want it to be a natural thing for them. I want it to be a decision. Made by themselves. You know what I mean?
That's a very good point. Because
if they want to do it, I guess that could be it. Like, if your kid doesn't want to do it and you're making them do it, that's clear as day. You're exploiting your kids. You know what I mean?
But the money is good.
Yeah, that's right.
You better get them joints.
You better do it. You better reimburse me for them nappies, man.
Took your ass for 3 years. You know, you're 3 years old. Get a job.
That's right. That's right.
It's a job now. You can't just be. I'm 3 years old. You better do some drawings.
Yeah, I think that's where, like, take Michael Jackson for instance.
Yeah.
You know, from the age of 5.
Yeah,
he was singing, and he complains about it all through his movies and all of that, saying he lost his childhood.
Yeah.
So, you know, do you want your kid to grow up with those kind of issues?
Yeah, that's the
question, eh?
Yeah, but yeah, one thing cool about you too, man, I've been seeing you doing on your Instagram stories is the positivity show. Tell us more about that, man, because that's a really cool concept that you have going on, man.
That stemmed off one of those events that I went to in New Zealand.
By the way, what would that event be? I might plug it in real quick. What was the event? Was it men's?
It was. They called Barber Huis. My boy Matt Brown put all those together. They They happened in 3 different locations: Christchurch, Palmerston North, and Auckland.
Cool, yeah.
And what it basically is they gathered about 40 to 50 barbers together.
Okay, cool, yeah.
And it was voluntary, like if they wanted to attend. And they did that. They put it together, and they had different speakers come through, different coaches, like life coach type things. Yeah. And one of those where it was one of our friends named Lino. He runs men's medicine down the Gold Coast.
Cool, yeah.
And he took us through exercises to really kind of connect with another human being that you don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Because all of us on our first day there, nobody knows each other.
No one knew had any sort of connection to each other. Okay.
Some of them did. Like some of them knew just through social media, through the barbering scene in general.
Yeah.
But most, on the most part, nobody really knows each other.
Like that, yeah, okay, fair enough.
So coming off of the backs of those events, I really had this, I guess, another outlook on life and perspective on certain things, on like that connection. I think it was more so that connection side with that we lack.
Yeah.
Even though we're on social media, we're not really connecting with people. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I decided to just put out a challenge one day. Yeah. And I called it the Positivity Show. It was just like a...
off the cuff kind of thing.
Yeah, it was kind of welcome to the Positivity Show, blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't really... It wasn't meant to be anything. You know what I mean? It was just for that day. I wanted to just make people feel good about that day.
100%.
And I did it a few times. And then I stopped for a couple of days. And then I got a few messages and I'm like, hey, where's the positivity challenge, man? Like, so I almost felt obligated to continue it. And now I try to do it daily.
That's a full-time job, man.
I try to do it daily. And like, bro, it takes 4 15-second stories out of my day, which is a minute. Yeah. So if that can help somebody put a smile on their face, well worth it, isn't it?
Did you think it'd be something like what it is now, like just something so little that people are actually asking you, like, "Hey, where's that goddamn?"
Yeah. I never thought it would catch on like that, but I mean, whatever helps somebody feel happier about their day.
How important is that to you, like making someone else's day in a sense? You know what I mean? Because we go about life, obviously thinking about ourselves so much. You come to the world by ourselves, we go out by ourselves. So you're thinking about yourself every single day. But how is it important for you to be like, man, like let me put out some words of positivity to people out here, see how they're doing and whatnot?
I think it's very important. I think to one of the sayings in my household anyway, between my wife and I, is a day without laughter is a day wasted.
I love that.
And we say that all the time. So I think to make somebody else feel happy, it happens both ways. It's a two-way street. It also makes you feel happy. So I think it's very important that, especially in today's time, how depression and anxiety and all of that is so evident.
And men's suicide, man.
It's massive.
Yeah, it's been happening too much. It hurts. As of late, man.
It hurts, man.
So, because also with the barbershop too, because you get that banter, you get that, when I go in there, we cracking jokes and and all those kind of things. From your experience with in NZ with that whole group, did you apply that in terms of your marriage with your wife and whatnot? Like how you
some of it definitely. I think between myself and my wife, we've learned to be pretty open with each other about everything. Yeah. I think I came back to the barbershop with a bit of a different kind of feeling towards the barbershop between me, my co-workers, between me and my business partners. Coming back with an attitude of more so wanting to lift people up as opposed to, because you know how the banter in the shop can get pretty, pretty deep, man. You know what I mean? The roasting, the roasting sessions get a bit hectic sometimes. So I think it was more so coming back with an attitude of, okay, we need to lessen that a bit and kind of pick each other up more than try and pull each other down. So I think that's where...
Has that been easy for you? I know you like cracking jokes, right? You like bullshit sometimes.
I love cracking jokes. But at the same time, like when I first got back, for the first week or so, honestly, I felt like I couldn't say anything. You know what I mean? I felt like I was silent, bro, because which made me realize that I wasn't really that positive person in the shop. You know what I mean?
Hypocrite out here.
Yeah, big time. Like I'm putting out all these positivity challenges, but then I go in the shop and I'm struggling to say things because usually I would just roast the next person. Yeah. And that's not positive. You know what I mean? It's funny. Don't get you know what I mean? Everyone cracks a laugh, but that person on the inside probably isn't feeling too good about that.
Like your home is like crying and shit, man.
Yeah, you don't want that. So
fresh face just crying at the crowd. Like,
yeah, exactly. And like, that's real bad when you're roasting your own customers. Like, that's
you gotta be careful, man.
And for all the barbers out there, I do not recommend you do that. But what I say to most of our customers, is when you start getting roasted in the shop,
means you're
part of the family, man. Straight up. Legit, you are part of the family. You've been coming in long enough that you can get roasted by one of the barbers. Shit, you're part of the family.
Unless you're sensitive, then damn.
Yeah, that's it. And bro, so many people are in this day and age, you know?
Like, relax.
Get offended by anything.
Yeah, but anything.
There's like no more, what's the saying? Being thick-skinned.
Yeah.
Like everyone's just way
imagine being a comedian nowadays too, man. Like you can't say nothing, bro.
Dude, like
you're on your ass, but
comedians are supposed to do the roasting. Now they're getting roasted by like, different
comments
communities.
Back like a couple years back.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Now going back to the positivity show.
Yeah.
How do you come up with your your daily challenges? Is it like the night before? Is it kind of on the go when you woke up? Cool, so I want to do today.
Honestly, most of the time it's on the go. It's like it's just something that I'm feeling that day, or something that's been kind of prompted by something that I experienced the day before. Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's kind of just off the cuff, man. Like however I'm feeling that day. Like I think yesterday I just told everybody, man, get outside because it was sunny as. Yeah. When I left for work. Yeah. And I just said, man, go outside. Feel the sun on your face.
And you try to do these before, like also.
I do.
Stuff. You don't just be saying like, "I go do this."
Like after I did that, I stuck my head out the window of the car and I'm like, feel it. Yeah. I try my best. Best to do it. And you know what? My wife always keeps me accountable. Yeah. Legit.
She's like, "Hey, brother."
Yeah. She's like, "You can't be telling everybody to do all this shit and you can't do it yourself." So,
yeah. That's bad, man. I like that. You didn't keep going with that. It's kind of like.
Nah, definitely.
You get tired, you're like, yo, get out of my DMs, bro.
Nah.
Get out of my shit, bro.
Most of the input that I get is positive as well. Like people sharing their experiences of how they felt when they did it. Yeah. Like that's cool. I really like that.
What if you're feeling like you have a negative day, like a shit? What do you still post, or what do you explain that to them? Like, yeah, I'm having a shit day today, but still, I'm gonna be positive because.
That's a really good question because I haven't come across that situation yet.
Okay,
but I feel like when I do, I feel like that's even a better time to do it.
The negativity show.
Yeah. You know what? Nah. Hell no. Nah.
Yeah, have a badass day.
Nah, but I feel like that is even
more real, man. That's more like, transparent. You're being,
That's right. I feel like that's probably the best thing you can do is be transparent. Just let everybody know exactly how it is. Because social media can definitely be a highlight reel. We all know that.
Yeah, man.
Everybody shows their best parts of their day. But
no one shows their failure. You know what I mean?
Nah, hell no. Yeah. Hell no. But that's a hard thing to do is be vulnerable and let people know how you're actually feeling. Yeah. You know, and that was a big part of the barberhoos that I went to in New Zealand. Yeah. Is being vulnerable.
Is there anything like that happening in Brisbane or no? Is it all mostly like...
Well, men's medicine is down the Gold Coast, like I said. And they travel around Australia doing stuff. Yeah. But as for that actual event for barbers, nothing's planned yet, but I hope something happens.
How was that experience, man? Were you open to it? Or you kind of like...
Honest, I've kind of been on a self-improvement journey for a long time.
Okay. Where'd that come from though? Like what made you...
Man, it's probably stemmed from my dad, eh? Yeah. My dad has always been a big dreamer. He never quite had he wasn't equipped with the right tools to really, move to those next levels.
Yeah.
He was, moved from the islands to New Zealand. Yeah. And, he was still pretty fresh. Yeah. Right up to the day he passed. So, but he taught me how to dream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He taught me how to dream big. And when you dream, you kind of, you figure out that in order to reach those dreams, there's certain things you got to do first.
Yeah.
And bettering yourself is one of those huge things. So
like self-awareness, that's the biggest thing. Like,
definitely. I still struggle big time with that.
Because it's easy to blame someone else or but it's harder for you to be like, man, let me look at myself in the mirror. Like, what am I doing wrong? What can I change about myself in order to elevate myself. You know what I mean? That's real dope because I think not many people do that shit. Like actually, like maybe I'm the fucking problem.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's right. That's a real tough thing to do. Is accept or admit that
you could be the cause.
There are things wrong with what you're doing. Yeah, and I think that's probably one of the biggest things that's helped me like with most relationships in my life is realizing that you're not perfect.
Have you like in saying self-awareness? Have you done that? Is it through reading books, meditation?
Man, honestly, I've tried to read books, and I'll be straight up honest.
Short attention span.
I struggle, man. Audiobooks I've done.
Not bad.
I could definitely do more of the. I've probably don't listen to as many audiobooks as I should.
Yeah. I love podcasts when I do it because
podcasts are real good.
I just like that, like taking the actual processes properly, but.
One thing that I take messages from too is music.
Yeah.
Certain music, like I pretty selective of who I listen to. Okay. Obviously, you always just want to listen to whatever you're vibing with at that time, but there are definitely a lot of good messages in music. Like this guy, for instance,
Nipsey Hussle. Yeah, go into that because you love Nipsey Hussle.
Man, been a fan. Yeah. But shout out to my boy Thane who really introduced me to him. He kind of got me onto a lot of different rappers that I had no idea of. So, but yeah, ever since he got me onto it, like you just dive deeper into his story and you realize he was a lot more than just a rapper.
Yeah, that's a cool thing.
And he's had a lot of influence. So when he actually passed away, man, that hurt. Yeah, that hurt big time. I actually realized what it would have felt like for the older generation when Tupac died. Yeah, because I was young. Yeah, like, it was 96, I think it was when he died, and you know, I was only like 10 years old or something.
The same feeling when Michael Jackson passed away. I was in like in primary school, but like I don't know because I grew up watching him, so I was like, "What?" Yeah. Mom was like, "Oh, Michael just died." I was like, "Nah, you bullshitting, shit."
Yeah.
And I was going to school. I was like, I had a badass dad. I was like, man, Michael just died. So
it's crazy to think of how long it's been since he died, but So when Nipsey died, I really felt that. Yeah. You know, because I've been a fan. I've been following his stuff. Consuming a lot of his content via social media, YouTube, interviews, and all of that.
And the cool thing, like he's very like he's all for like bossing up like yourself and then also educating your people, man. That's one of the coolest things that you know. Whatever I learn, I'm going to pass on to the next generation or my people, so they can elevate themselves too.
Indeed, you know indeed. I mean? Yeah, for sure. That's something that I've taken from him as well. Like he literally lived. Like was born and died on the same block. So you know, like that just proves to everybody that he really cared about that community. And I think it's something we could all take into consideration when we're all moving forward in our lives is remembering where you've come from and giving back. You know, so
that's a very big thing. I want to be like that eventually too, man. Whatever I learn, I want to kind of definitely pass on to my people, you know what I mean? Because you want to say, because we were talking about off camera before about 1-4 and HP Boys, how like that their rise to stardom came from like support they got from their Polynesian
people. From the Maori people,
and how you talked about how ethnics are getting that they're getting that shine now, which is fucking sick.
Well, yeah, man. Within my own culture, within our own people, you grow up getting shut down a lot of the time. When, as kids growing up, you're only at those certain levels when that older generation passes and is gone. Yeah, you're not really built up or encouraged to do things like in our culture where you get a job, you work that job, you buy a house, and that's about it. You know what I mean?
Family,
There's no real push for our younger generations to dream bigger than that. So I feel like it's our time to break those cycles. Yeah, and that's why HP Boys and 1-4 and all of that. I support the movement as much as a lot of their content is, not the most peaceful message. Yeah, but at the same time they're using what they know. Yeah, to break out of.
So you can't really blame it. It is art, man. It's self-expression. So.
That's right. They're a product of their reality, and they're just reporting on that. So
I reckon that's very important. Like representation, man. Having like Polynesian kids seeing them now, like they can do like what kind of art.
Exactly. Exactly. Setting that example.
Yeah. For sure. Man, that's a really good concept. What do you see yourself in a few years, man, in terms of like with barbering or just as an individual as well too, man?
I've always, man, I'm going to put this out there on camera too, but I've always said I was going to retire by the age of 40.
Age of 40.
I got 5 years to do that.
How you feeling,
But
man?
hey, you dream big, right?
Yeah,
and in this day and age, like in this time, in this era, anything can happen. We're in the internet age.
Yeah.
And there are people growing empires,
Yeah.
Not overnight, but what seems like overnight. So I believe anything can happen. So I'm definitely going to work towards that. Yeah. Myself and my wife together. And
do you have like a plan in order you've been kind of following, or just?
Oh man, I could probably do better with that. Owning a barbershop was part of that goal. Becoming an educator in the barbering industry was part of that goal. And having fulfilled some of those things is definitely good to tick off, but there's still a lot more steps to go. Yeah. So,
is there any goals you want to share with us that you want to kind of?
Oh man. I think one of the goals right now is to start some kind of online business.
Online business, cool.
Yeah, I feel like moving into that space is definitely where
the next
we should probably now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Not even just the next move, but where it's at right now.
Yeah, because like you gotta make like cash work for you. You working for cash.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Like trading time for money is what I've done my whole adult life.
Yeah, I think majority of us. Yeah, that's all we know.
We're all in that same boat, and I would love to get to a point where, like you said, that money is working for us and not the other way around. So, I feel like that online business space is where I want to be at.
Would it be around barbering, or just be around whatever you feel like you want?
Oh man, my wife has got a few ideas up her sleeve that she wants to get into, and I think it's time now. Yeah, because we've been together for 15 years.
Okay, holding it down.
I think it's time now that I support her on something.
Yeah. Creative? Is she a creative one as well too?
She's creative ideas wise. Yeah. Artistically, and she'll say this herself. Yeah. Like she's probably not the best with a pen and paper. But that's where I can help.
Now you're going home right after this, right?
Yeah, nah, for sure. She'll like I said, she'll tell you too. You know, I wouldn't say anything that would get me in trouble with my wife.
What you said again?
But yeah, I guess that's where I can support her.
Yeah.
Having some sort of an artistic background too. Yeah. So it just, it goes hand in hand. Because in my barbering career, she's helped me with a lot of things. Yeah. Ideas wise.
Let's give an example.
For instance, there's a show called Hair Biz Forum that happens every year in Brisbane. Yeah. And it's held at the Exhibition and Convention Centre in South Bank. Yeah. And I've been asked a few years in a row to put together a barbering show for an hour-long segment of the day. It's a whole day thing. Yeah. And then there's an award show at night. Okay. Straight up, all the ideas of every show that I've put together has all been my wife.
Oh, damn.
I'm just the one that executes it. So...
It's the face.
Bro, like, for instance, there's a salon called Tony and Guy. Have you heard of Tony and Guy?
I have not.
You have not heard of...
Please explain.
400 salons around the world. So they're big business, right?
I probably should know, yeah. I'm going to look it after this,
Yeah, over 400 salons around the world. They're, I think he's the managing director of Australia, New Zealand, of the Southern Hemisphere. Yeah. He came up to our table at the award show later that night and asked who choreographed the whole show. Yeah. I pointed straight at my wife.
Oh, shit.
Dude, he looked at her and he was like, bro, his jaw hit the table. Yeah. And he asked her, do you do this for a living? Do you put and she was like, nah, I'm a housewife. Yeah. I stay at home and look after my kids.
That's a full-time job in itself, man.
It's straight up. And she was the ideas person. She thought of everything as to what we should start with, and we just put it together.
That's dope, man.
You know, so yeah, he was shocked as to what she came up with and what we did on that stage. He thought that a professional choreographer put the whole thing together. Wow.
How important is it for you to have like a very strong female by your side, man?
Oh, dude. Yeah. I wouldn't be who I am, or I wouldn't be where I am in my career today if it wasn't for her. Yeah. Straight up. Even education-wise, she pushed me to do that. Yeah. She's very good at pushing me to do
yeah, like, why don't you go do it yourself?
Yeah, she's very good at pushing me to do things. But yeah, like I said, now it's time for me to kind of back her in something. So.
Yeah, you do. Okay. Nah, that's dope, man. That's beautiful too. I'm hoping my wife comes along sometime.
Yo, and she will.
I know.
And she will.
Yeah. Like, does it just happen naturally, you reckon? Or just kind of, was it yours kind of like...
I feel like it did.
Naturally, just, I don't know. You weren't looking for a girl or wife, just kind of...
Man, honestly, I came off the back of a bad breakup in New Zealand. There's a whole reason why I moved to to Australia.
Damn, was that bad, brother?
Bro, it was bad. Like,
yeah. How old were you?
You know, bro, I was young though, so you know that young and dumb kind of attitude, man. I was only 19. Yeah, it was that bad. I just wanted to get out of there. I was like, damn, I don't want to be around here. You know, you don't want to run into the person. You don't want to. And bro, we were only together for like 2 years.
Yeah,
and then so I moved here, and dude, I was only here for about a month when I met my wife.
We kind of like hesitant, like, hey, look, I just got out.
At first, I wasn't really looking for it. Like, she just started off as like a friendship type thing, but
how important is that? Because I'm big on that, like being people say friends, and I'm like, man, shut up, because you got to be friends with your partner.
Yeah,
because for me personally, I feel like you can be yourself when you're friends with somebody, like your true self. Because when you're trying to date somebody, you're trying to impress them.
Definitely,
you can't really be yourself to the fullest, right?
Yeah, there was still that aspect.
Yeah,
trying to impress, be the cool guy. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a two-way street. You know, you're doing it back and forth. You know, she's trying to impress me, I'm trying to impress her. But at the same time, like when you're, when you become friends with somebody, you have that ultimate comfort with that person. That's when you kind of know that, okay, I can be my true self around this person. That's when they're a keeper. I feel anyway.
What's the one question? How do you know when like she's the one? I
always have that question. Like, that's a tough question to ask. Like, well, to answer. Sorry, that's hard. Bro, I guess I'll tell you one experience.
Yeah, go ahead.
She understood me.
Yeah, okay.
And it was when I think it was a birthday. I'm a huge Tupac fan.
Okay, shout out to Pac. Yeah.
Right. I'm a huge Tupac fan. I've had every album since Tupacalypse Now, right up to when he died.
Yeah.
I had every documentary, so I was a huge fan, right?
Yeah.
She ordered me, she found it, his poetry book called The Rose That Grew From Concrete.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And when she presented that to me, I'm pretty sure it was a birthday.
Yeah. Your birthday?
Yeah, my birthday. She presented to me on my birthday, and I opened it up. Bro, it was almost like at that moment in time, that was it, man. Yeah. I was like, yo, she gets me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She gets me. And that, I think it was from that moment. Oh, not to mention another birthday that I had. She contacted my mother in New Zealand.
Damn.
And she cooked every meal that I grew up on. Dude, legit.
Damn.
But more so, more than the book. I think that was the moment.
Yeah, just the little things.
Bro, those little things. She understands me. You know what I mean?
Damn.
So she cooked everything that I grew up on, I loved.
This is you love food and music,
bro. Food and music, food mainly. Like, bro, telling you that's the same, right? The key to a man's heart is through his stomach.
Yeah, man. So bring me food, y'all. So I'm trying to get to my heart.
She contacted my mom and everything, and she figured out how to make it all. And
how do you even pull that off? Make food and fly it over to? Was your mom in NZ?
No, she was in New Zealand. She just got all recipes in that from my mom. My mom directed her as to how to make it, and she did the whole spread herself.
Yo, that's dope.
Yeah.
What are you even doing for her then when it's her birthday? How do you top that off?
Oh, man.
Here's a rose.
She had a birthday in Vegas. Okay. So, yeah, you know, like, it's, you know what? I could probably be better on that part, to be honest. Yeah, definitely.
But that's dope. Shout out to you. What's your wife's name, by the way?
Ariel.
Shout out to Ariel, man. That's really good. That's really beautiful. Emails, please take notice if you want to get to my heart. Give me a meal, you know.
Young, free and single. I like
I like massages there. Oh, that's good stuff. But on a serious, let's get deeper now, man. I got some questions I want to kind of get out of, man.
All right, let me get ready for this.
One question I love is, what advice would you give yourself, like your past self, in younger days, I guess, and what advice you give to your future self now that you've had that life experience, in a sense?
Past self?
Yeah.
For my past self, I'll probably say to take more chances.
More risk?
Yeah. Take more chances in the way of self-doubt.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's probably what... I probably could have owned a business a lot longer. Yeah. For a lot longer.
Yeah.
A long time ago, if I just didn't have that self-doubt. You know what I mean? That person in the back of my head that just keeps telling you, nah, you can't. Yeah. You can't do that. You're not there yet. You're not ready. And you know what? There might be some truth to some of that. Like I might not have been ready, but at least I would have given something a go. Yeah. Because you gotta lose to learn, right?
Straight up, man. An L's a lesson, man. It's never
clear. So that's 100%. Right. So I think that's probably something I would tell my younger self is to take more risks and just to, man, what don't kill you makes you stronger, right?
Yeah, straight up. I love that.
My future self?
You're still young, man. Come on now.
Yeah, I'm 35.
Young at it.
35? Oh, shit.
Yeah, man.
Man, that's hard.
Got your ass.
My future self.
Got him.
I usually got an answer for everything. Damn.
Yeah, you quiet now, huh?
Honestly, I think to tell my future self would probably be to slow down.
Slow down.
Yeah, I feel like with these next steps, with these next phases in life, with trying to make it to a certain level, I feel like there's gonna be times where it'll just be guns blazing, go hard, and there's definitely gonna be times, especially for family's sake.
Yeah.
You know, to slow down.
Because you don't want to sacrifice time with your family in order to kind of make things happen.
That's right.
I know it's like double-edged sword. You're trying to make things happen.
That's right.
Spend time with your family. So it's like,
it's that constant fight. It's that constant search for balance.
Yeah.
I personally probably don't believe that there is such a thing.
As balance.
I feel like there's always going to be a certain area that lacks. Yeah. So when you're trying to lift one area of your life up,
it'll be lacking
one area. Yeah. So. It's always going to be a constant search for balance.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like it's going to take work.
Yeah, man.
You know, if you want to make it to a certain level in life, you got to work for it.
You got to apply yourself to it, right?
Definitely.
That's dope, man.
But learn to slow down. That's what I would say.
Since you have a lot of wise words, you know what I mean? Like what's like a saying or quote that you kind of live by, you know what I mean? That you kind of remind yourself when things kind of get tough or rough, you kind of, okay, Lance, remember this. It could be like a mantra, a saying, a quote that you might have picked up somewhere.
I think I mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
Is a day without laughter.
That's the best one.
Is a day wasted. That is what I live by. Like in my household, we laugh every day.
Yeah.
And that I feel like laughter has healing properties.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like
are you funny?
Am I funny? Some would say no.
Got any jokes? Put your ass on the spot.
I got any jokes? Oh man,
you're a dad. You got some sort of dad jokes.
Dad jokes. We actually came up with some good ones in the shop the other day. What were they?
I have a good.
I'm not gonna say, man, because they're not even that funny. Like dad jokes are the worst.
Just saying, like, what is it? I got one.
Especially when it's like semi-racist.
Yo, don't say that. Everybody says this.
Nah, it's not even that bad. It's not even that bad. But my nephew actually came up with it. Like, what do you call two Mexicans playing basketball?
What do you call it?
Juan on Juan.
I can't be laughing to death, man. Try to get me canceled.
Right, it's just names though. It's not that bad. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
That's like, don't nobody get offended over that.
But that's bad. Eh? That's bad.
But it's
I got one.
More racist jokes. Huh?
What's the not racist. This one ain't racist. This is about food. Now this is gonna be dry as hell. So pre-warning, this is dry as hell. So if you don't laugh at it, that's on you. But what is the fastest condiment in a bakery?
What is it?
Or what is the fastest food in a bakery?
What is it?
I don't know. Scone.
Come on, bro. Don't even laugh at that. Don't do that.
Hey, my boy laughed. Hey, yes.
You are a dad.
That's bad.
That's
bad. Bro, shout out to my boy Gillo from the Bible who he told me that one. That was good, man. That was good. You got me with that. But you have to say it like a fob. You have to say it. It's con.
Oh, that's that.
Get it?
That's
Get it? That's why it works for me, because I'm a fob, bro.
Okay, down, because that makes more sense now. It's how you kind of the delivery of the actual
delivery. It's con. Nah, I apologize for that. That was real dumb.
Yo, what is going on?
My bad.
Damn, man.
Well, that went south real quick, so
nah, man, bro.
Let's get back on track.
Honestly, man, I just want to say like a big thank you for doing this. You know what I mean?
Oh man,
you're a busy man. You got your own business. You got a family. So catching a vibe with me, bro, I really appreciate this. Any final words? Any shots you want to give out to people or your business where people can find you? Or? I want to get a fresh fit. Hit my guy out, man. Hit my guy out,
bro. Last words.
Yeah. Well, what was the message for today? Did you mention that? Like the positivity show? What was the message today?
Positivity challenge for today. Actually, yeah.
It was a shout out to my G.
Nah, definitely. Yeah, the positivity challenge for today was to share your story.
Yeah.
Share a bit about your story. Yeah. Whether it's via social media, whether it's in person, whether it's... Because some part of your story is going to help someone.
Yeah.
So don't be scared to share your story.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, my G, for coming through. Catching a vibe with the boy.
I appreciate you.
Nah, bro.
Thank you very much.
Shit, babe. Once again, guys, pull up to your shop, Browns Plains.
Browns Plains.
Gonna put the address in or no, not really?
1/45 Grand Plaza Drive.
Man, you have a business or not?
No, I'm not gonna do it, but 1/45 Grand Plaza Drive, Browns Plains.
Pull up to the loft, man. Great banter, fresh haircuts, quality.
We do our best.
Quality people, man. So pull up to the guy, man. What's my goddamn word now, man? You're checking in, bro.
It's gone.
Hey, that was just dry jokes. Once again, my G's, we're signing out. Peace, love, positivity, all that good shit, man. I'll catch you out till next time, man. Peace out. Yes, sir. It's gone.
It's gone, man.
Oh,
it's
man.
gone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I had to drop that one in there. I had to drop that one in there.
Nah, thanks, bro. I really appreciate this, bro.
Man, I appreciate being here. Thank you for having me.